Alright, folks, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is Anime Month, and what I'm going to do for Anime Month is the one series you wanted me to do for a long time, and it's in English, presenting Super Robot Taisen J. That's right, we're gonna play Super Robot Taisen J in English. And mind you, I've beaten this whole game in a practice run, and it took me about a couple months to do it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm glad I actually did it. I had to do a lot of safe stating because there are a lot of things that can happen here, and if you're not sure what to do, you will get screwedified. So here we are. We're going to start off this brand new Let's Play, and you're going to enjoy it. So let's start. Mankind has expanded beyond the bounds of Earth, entering an era of space travel and spreading their way of life as far as Mars. However, humanity is still plagued with problems, struggles, and quandaries they've yet to find an answer to. They are the genetically modified humans known as the coordinators. The ruins of an alien civilization buried deep within the seabed called Orphan, and finally mass immigrations to a terraformed Mars. Many expected such drastic changes to usher in the dawn of a new age. But with those changes came misunderstanding, dissent, and strife. The coordinators, gifted with faculties suited for life in space, constructed research colonies known as plants. Nonetheless, those remaining on the surface grew jealous and paranoid of their genetically altered brethren, and the rift between natural and coordinator eventually erupted into racial violence. In the midst of all this, those calling themselves reclaimers suddenly entered and established permanent residence within Orphan. Their existence is oft rumored, but rarely documented. Then, in the 69th year of the cosmic era, they arrived from Jupiter suddenly and without warning. A mysterious force of unmanned robotic weapons invaded Mars, eventually defeating the United Earth Federation Army in a protracted battle. The Federation was left with no choice but to abandon the Martian colonists and remove its military presence. The invaders, now termed Jovian lizards, then dispatched numerous devices known as tulips across the Earth sphere, each capable of deploying a seemingly endless supply of unmanned weapons to anywhere in the region. The world was plunged into a constant state of warfare against these mysterious foes. With the conflict escalating daily, numerous terrorist groups and shadow organizations opted to seek profit from the chaos, furthering their own illicit causes in the process. Meanwhile, the plants pushed for independence in the name of self-defense, but faced opposition from the natural-led Atlantic Federation, whose representatives demand the forceful imposition of sanctions upon the space colonies. Now, in year 70 of the cosmic era, the Jovian lizards, as enigmatic as ever, continue their conflict. Tensions between the plants and the Federation rise. Energal Heavy Industries finishes construction on a new model warship dubbed the Nadeshiko. It is here our story begins. Now, you have a choice of two people to pick. You have Touya Shiun and Calvina Coulange. A little thing about each, depending on which side you take, that's when your specialized mech will show up. And of course you have as start 3. There is a 4th, but you have to unlock it by merely playing this game in a total of 4 times. I've only beaten it once as a practice run. This time is a second run because I'm actually let's playing this. And for those who are wondering, do not come to me about how I play this game, okay? Reminder, this is a casual let's play. Don't be so excited and don't take everything out of proportion throughout this whole game. Plus, if need be, if a battle will take too long, I will speed it up. So, you have that too. So, I'm going to pick Touya, because I've beaten him that's the storyline I've actually used, and I feel that is probably the better one over Calvina's. Of course, I will do both, but in due time, and I'll probably explain where it will be at between the 2 arcs of where they're going to be at. So, with that, I'm going to pick Touya, like so. And I can pick a robot of any type of my choosing. The first one we have is Belzelut, or Belzelut. Seems okay, but let's take a look at the abilities. Belzelut, of course, is basically a weapon type. The next one we have to take a look at is Costwell. Costwell, being an air-land type, is mainly a melee. It is nothing but a straight melee. So if you want melee, you can go with Costwell. If you want long-range attacks, go with Belzelut. But the one robot I'm going to be choosing for this run will be Granted, which I can easily change. Yes, you can actually change your robot's name in this game, which I will change his name for the sake of the Let's Play. And most of you know this robot's name is Granted. Let's take a look at the abilities. And of course, Granted is an air land type. And Granted is a mixture of both distance and melee. I would rather have a mixture instead of just having melee only. Plus, it is by far the most powerful goddamn thing you can possibly see. Of course, you can change the weapon name by selecting, by pressing select, like so, or checking out what it is. The name, as it is now, is the old blaster's long range. Finger Crusher, which is short range. Post movement, and usually combo. Whenever you see the C next to a P, that means post movement and combo. The same thing here. This is a post movement, so therefore the finger crusher does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits in succession. So therefore, after you mainly nail an enemy, you can kill that son of a bitch real quick. O Slave is a long-range beam attack. That's what it is. It's just a long-range beam attack, just like the old blaster. It's a long-range beam attack. The only difference is the range is totally different. And finally, we have the Tempest Lancer, which will also be named, which will also be renamed. So, like I said, everything that I plan to do, I plan to rename it off camera. So when I actually get back to it, when you actually see the actual names of what I give it, including the robot's name, it's the same thing. So yes, the Tempest Lancer is basically the most powerful attack you have in your arsenal, next to the Finger Crusher. Now, at a certain point in time throughout the game, you will get an upgrade by some twist of fate. So, yeah, you get to do the same thing over and over again. You have to, you can keep it to where you want to keep it. You want to keep the original name and the original attacks if you so choose, or you can change it, whichever works. But yes, we're gonna go with this one. There is a fourth one, as I mentioned before. The fourth one is called Coulange. Coulange is basically the ultimate, and I do mean the ultimate, badass super robot. So basically, it is the ultimate badass of the main four mechs you can use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one, guaranteed. And what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to give the player his actual name, which is actually spelled Touya. Touya Shiun. And the same thing here, which his name will be called Touya. So yes, we're going to confirm it. And the unit's name... Actually, I'm going to do the unit's name on screen. So therefore, I'm going to do the unit name on screen. The weapons I'm going to change off camera. And the unit's name will now be called this. Gonna be spelled There, it's going to be called Tenkaichi. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to basically rename all the weapons as you see here. So give me a moment. Alright, now this is what we have so far. We've changed this from the old beam to the Tenkai. We've changed everything to the following: the Tenkai beam, the Tenkai finger, the Tenkai cannon, and the Tenkai lance. So what I'm going to do here is that since we've started, I'm going to stop here, and in the next part, we're actually going to start up this game. So with that, stay tuned, because Super Robot Taisen J is actually going to start coming up next.